Most people completely misunderstand what it actually takes to register a company in Malaysia, and because of that misunderstanding, they either assume it is too bureaucratic and avoid it entirely, or they rush in expecting it to be instant and end up stuck in preventable delays. And here's the surprising truth. Registering a company in Malaysia is actually one of the most structured, efficient, and foreign-friendly processes in Southeast Asia, but only if you understand how the system is designed to work step by step. Now, imagine this. Michael, a 35-year-old entrepreneur from Los Angeles, runs a digital consulting agency. He has clients in the United States, but he's starting to realize something important. His costs are rising. His growth is slowing. And he wants a strategic base in Asia to expand into global markets. After weeks of research, Malaysia keeps appearing on his radar. Strong infrastructure. Strategic location. Business-friendly tax system. English widely used in business environments. And a reputation for being one of the easiest places in Asia for foreign company registration. At first, Michael thinks it will be simple. He assumes he can just apply online, pay a fee, and start operating within a few days. But then he actually begins the process. And everything slows down. He encounters terms like SSM, Company Secretary Requirements, SDN-BHD, Paid-up Capital, and incorporation forms that don't immediately make sense. And suddenly, what looked like a simple process becomes overwhelming. And this is exactly where most people stop. But what Michael doesn't realize yet is that Malaysia's company registration system is highly structured and surprisingly predictable once you understand how each part connects. And that is exactly what we are going to break down in this guide. Step by step. Clearly. Practically. In a way that feels like someone is walking you through the entire journey in real time. But here's where things get interesting. Before you even talk about registering an LLC in Malaysia, you need to understand what the equivalent structure actually is. In Malaysia, the closest equivalent to an LLC is called a Sendirian Berhad, often abbreviated as SDN-BHD. This is a private limited company structure that separates personal liability from business obligations, meaning shareholders are generally only responsible for the amount they invest in the company. Now that sounds simple on the surface. But in reality, it connects to a formal regulatory system, governed by the Companies Commission of Malaysia, known as SSM, which stands for Suruhanjaya Syarikat Malaysia. And this is where Sarah enters the story. Zara is a business consultant who helps international entrepreneurs establish companies across Southeast Asia. She meets Michael after he spends nearly a week trying to figure everything out alone. Michael is frustrated. Some websites say foreigners can fully own companies. Others say local directors are required. Some mention paid-up capital rules that seem inconsistent. Others talk about company secretaries but don't explain why they matter. And Sarah tells him something that changes everything. You're not dealing with guesswork. You are dealing with a structured legal system. Once you understand the order, everything becomes clear. And that is the turning point. Because Malaysia's company formation process follows a very defined sequence through SSM. And once you understand that sequence, everything becomes manageable. But here's the first major insight Michael learns. You cannot start with registration forms. You start with structure and compliance planning. And that is where most people make their first mistake. Because in Malaysia, every company must have at least one director who resides in Malaysia. This is not optional in most standard structures. At first, Michael feels stuck. He assumes he must physically relocate or abandon the idea. But Sarah explains something important. You do not need to relocate immediately. You need a compliant structure. Many foreign founders appoint a local director through legitimate service providers. And that changes his perspective. Because now the process is not blocked. It is structured. But here's where things get even more interesting. Before incorporation, you must choose your company name and submit it for approval through SSM. And this sounds simple, but it is actually a critical legal step. Because the name must be unique, not misleading, and compliant with Malaysian naming guidelines. Michael initially tries names like Global Digital Empire Solutions. But Sarah stops him. In Malaysia, clarity and professionalism matter more than branding exaggeration during registration. So Michael adjusts and chooses something more neutral and compliant. And once submitted, the name reservation process begins. Now here's where the emotional tension builds, because until the name is approved, nothing else can move forward. And during this waiting period, Michael starts questioning the process. But Sarah reassures him. This is normal. The system is verifying uniqueness and compliance. It usually moves quickly if everything is correct. And she is right. The name gets approved. And now the real process begins. But here's where things can go wrong if you are not careful. Because next comes incorporation documents. These include forms like the company constitution, director declarations, shareholder structure, and business activity descriptions. And this is where most beginners underestimate the importance. Michael initially thinks this is just paperwork. But Sarah stops him again. This is not paperwork. This is your legal foundation. And that changes everything. Because these documents define ownership, control, financial responsibility, and operational authority. If structured incorrectly, they can create banking issues or compliance problems later. Michael carefully defines ownership between himself and a trusted partner. And here is where another important insight appears. Malaysia is generally foreign investor friendly, but structure matters. Some sectors may have equity requirements or licensing conditions depending on business activity. And that is why clarity during incorporation is critical. But here's where things get even more important. Once documents are prepared, they are submitted to CSM for incorporation approval. And Malaysia's system is known for being relatively efficient compared to many countries. In many cases, if everything is correct, incorporation can be completed within a short time frame. But accuracy is everything. Even small mistakes can delay approval. Michael submits his documents and enters the waiting phase. And this is where emotional pressure builds again. Because everything now depends on approval. But Sarah reframes it. This is not uncertainty. This is validation. And that mindset helps Michael stay focused. And then, something important happens. Approval is granted. The company is officially registered as SDN BHD in Malaysia. And for a moment, everything feels complete. But here's where most people misunderstand the process. Registration is not the finish line. It is the starting point of operational setup. Because after incorporation, there are still essential steps. Tax registration with the Inland Revenue Board of Malaysia, known as LHDN.GI. Opening a corporate bank account. Appointing a licensed company secretary. And ensuring ongoing compliance filings are completed. And this is where Emily enters the story. Emily is another entrepreneur who successfully registered a company in Southeast Asia, but assumed she was fully operational immediately after incorporation. But she later discovered she could not issue invoices properly, or operate smoothly, without completing tax and banking setup. And that delay cost her time and opportunities. Michael takes that lesson seriously. He immediately moves to complete tax registration. But here's where things get even more practical. Opening a business bank account in Malaysia requires documentation such as incorporation, certificates, director identification, business plans, and sometimes in-person verification, depending on the bank. And this is where many entrepreneurs feel stuck again. But Sarah explains something critical. You do not rush banks. You prepare for them. And that becomes Michael's guiding principle. Instead of forcing speed, he focuses on completeness. And slowly, everything begins to align. Name approval. Incorporation. Tax registration. Banking setup. Compliance structure. Each step builds on the last. And what once felt overwhelming starts to feel logical. But here's the deeper insight most people never fully understand. Malaysia's LLC system is not designed to confuse foreign entrepreneurs. It is designed to ensure transparency, compliance, and business legitimacy, while still being accessible and efficient. And once you understand that, everything changes. Now imagine Michael one final time. A few months later, he's running his consulting business from his newly established Malaysian SDN BHD. He is serving international clients, managing payments smoothly, and using Malaysia as a strategic hub for expansion into Asia. What once felt like a complicated foreign legal system now feels like a structured business advantage. And that is the identity shift. From confused outsider to structured international operator. From uncertainty to clarity in execution. But before we finish, there is one final question to address. What mistakes do most people make when registering a company in Malaysia? And the answer is consistent. They underestimate the need for a local director. They rush documentation. They misunderstand tax obligations. And they assume the process is fully automatic once submitted. But now you understand something most beginners do not. Malaysia is not difficult. It is structured. And when you follow that structure step by step, the process becomes not only manageable, but strategically powerful. So if you are considering starting a company in Malaysia, the most important takeaway is this. Respect the sequence. Build the structure correctly. Do not rush compliance. Because once you do, you gain access to one of the most business-friendly and strategically located markets in Asia. And what once looked complicated becomes a gateway to expansion. If you found this guide helpful and want more deep, practical breakdowns of global business setups like this, make sure to subscribe to the channel. Because the more you understand these systems, the more confidently you can move through global opportunities that most people never even attempt. And now, you are no longer looking at Malaysia's company registration process as a barrier. You are seeing it as a structured entry point into global business growth. And that changes everything.